All right, so have you heard about this Bollywood movie Laapataa Ladies? I mean, it's making some serious waves.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of it.
Two brides, right,
Mm.
on a packed train,
Yeah, yeah.
and they accidentally swap husbands.
Oh!
Sounds pretty funny, right?
It does. Like, that's a recipe for disaster, but also, like, a lot of laughs.
A lot of laughs, exactly.
Yeah.
But, and this is what we're going to deep dive into today, there's actually a lot more to it than
Well,
just the laughs.
Yeah.
And we're going to be looking at a review from MovieKaTicket.com.
Okay.
And we're going to try to figure out why this movie, Laapataa Ladies, is resonating so much with audiences.
That sounds fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about the humor, of course, but also the deeper themes
Yeah.
and the social commentary.
Yeah.
So to start, the movie is set in rural India,
Okay.
in this fictional place called Madhya Pradesh,
All right.
but they actually filmed it in Madhya Pradesh,
Gotcha.
which I hear adds a layer of authenticity. And this hilarious husband swap is set against this backdrop of rural life.
Yeah.
And what role do you think that plays, like the setting? What role does it play in the story?
Well, I think the rule setting is really crucial, actually.
Okay.
I think it brings with it, that strong sense of tradition and community.
Yeah.
And it becomes almost another character in the film itself,
Oh, interesting.
highlighting not just the beauty and the richness of that rural life,
Yeah.
but also, kind of subtly revealing some of the constraints,
Right.
particularly for the women.
Especially for the women.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the lost ladies themselves.
Okay.
Phool and Jaya.
Right.
They're played by Nitanshi Goel and Pratibha Ranta.
Yeah.
And I've heard their performances are amazing.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
They bring such depth to their characters. And I think especially Jaya.
Okay.
I mean, think about this. One of the brides, Jaya, chooses not to go back to her original husband.
Oh.
And that's a bold choice in a society that, often emphasizes duty and tradition.
Right.
Especially in arranged marriages.
Yeah, that's a powerful statement, I think.
Yeah.
So what do you think that choice says about Jaya as a character?
Mm-hmm.
And how does it tie into those, like, the bigger themes in the film about identity and autonomy?
Well, I think Jaya's decision is almost like a declaration of independence, It's like she's challenging those expectations that are placed upon women.
Right.
She's not simply accepting her fate,
Yeah.
but she's actively shaping her destiny.
Wow.
And I think that speaks volumes about her courage, her desire for self-discovery.
It makes you wonder if the setting, right,
Yeah.
with its emphasis on tradition, almost like amplifies
Oh, absolutely.
the impact of her choice.
Yeah, I think it creates this compelling tension
Mm-hmm.
between, the individual desires and those societal pressures.
Right. And you see that in a lot of those scenes where
Yeah.
she's navigating those expectations, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Of her family and community.
Yeah.
While she's kind of yearning for something more.
Right. Right.
So it's not just a funny, lighthearted comedy.
It's not just a comedy, no.
It's got this layer of social commentary
Precisely.
running through it.
Laapataa Ladies really tackles those complex issues, right? Like
Yeah.
arranged marriages, gender roles, societal expectations.
And it does it all within this comedic framework.
Exactly. And I think that's what makes it so effective.
Yeah.
It's thought-provoking without being preachy.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And it seems like this blend of humor and social commentary has really resonated with audiences.
It has.
The film has done incredibly well.
Yeah.
Box office success,
Mhm.
Toronto International Film Festival.
Yeah.
It even won Best Film at the Indian Film Festival of Melbourne.
Wow.
So what do you like? Why? Why is it resonating with people?
Well, I think it's resonating with people across different cultures and backgrounds.
Mm.
The humor makes it accessible,
Mm-hmm.
but those underlying themes of identity and freedom,
Yeah.
I mean, they're universally relatable.
They are.
Everyone wants to find their own way.
Yeah, and let's not forget the music.
Oh, the music is fantastic.
Ram Sampath,
Yeah.
he did the score with songs like Deem Deem,
Yeah.
and it just adds another dimension to the story.
It does. It really elevates the emotional impact of a lot of the scenes.
Yeah. How do you think, what do you think the music is doing for the storytelling?
Well, I think Deem, for example, really beautifully captures that feeling of yearning,
Okay.
of searching for oneself,
Right.
which aligns perfectly with Jaya's journey.
Yeah, so it's not just your typical comedy.
It's not just your typical comedy.
It's funny, it's heartwarming, it leaves you thinking about bigger issues.
It's a real cinematic gem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Do you think the film's themes, right?
Yeah.
Identity, autonomy, do they resonate differently for audiences in India versus internationally?
Oh, that's a great question.
Yeah.
I mean, the film definitely offers a glimpse into Indian culture and societal norms.
Right.
But that desire for self-discovery, I think, is universal.
It is.
However, that specific cultural context might lead to different interpretations and discussions.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there might be nuances there.
Definitely something to consider.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen Laapataa Ladies yet,
Yeah.
I highly recommend it.
It's a must-watch.
Yeah.
You're sure?
It's a film that will stay with you
Absolutely.
long after the credits have rolled.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right. Well, thanks for joining me on this deep dive
Thanks for having me.
into Laapataa Ladies.
It was fun.
And we'll see you next time
See you next time.
for another deep dive.
Sounds good.